Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
State House lawmakers wrapped up discussion tonight on clarifying the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jason Poore.
And I'm Mackenzie Clark. Thanks for joining us. An announcement is possible for tomorrow.
Meanwhile, the Islamic Society of North America is expressing concern about the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. In a statement, they said they welcome the protection of an individual's right to free exercise of religion. The statement continued by saying, for example, if a corporation refused to hire a person because they were a Muslim and their religious beliefs did not permit them to hire Muslims, then the prospective employee could not succeed in a lawsuit alleging discrimination against the corporation because the law is a defense to liability. Indiana's 5 Catholic bishops are also speaking out. They released a statement saying no Hoosier should face discrimination, whether it's over their sexual orientation or for living their religious beliefs. They support efforts to uphold the God-given dignity of all the people of this state, while safeguarding the rights of people of all faiths to practice their religion without undue burden from the government.
As we are joining you at this time last night, a diversity-related ceremony was just beginning at Ball State's landmark, the Beneficent Statue. We would like to take you one more back there inside the event. The conversation turned into an opportunity for healing at the dialogue. Students were encouraged to voice their opinions and join together in unity. Reporter Bree Kirkham tells us how students plan on turning their words into actions.
The Hope and Healing at Benny's ceremony attracted students, faculty, and the president of Ball State, Paul Ferguson. The ceremony aimed to help students reflect on their commitment to civility, courtesy, and compassion, which is echoed in the Beneficence Pledge that the Ball State community is expected to uphold.
The true meaning of beneficence is to do good in and for others.
It followed a dialogue which happened earlier in the afternoon. Student Government Association partnered with Student Affairs and Institutional Diversity to offer students the opportunity to voice their concerns. President Ferguson explains why these conversations are relevant now.
I think the discussion is extremely important, particularly after the last couple of weeks where there have been a lot of concerns about being heard, about issues that may not have been addressed adequately, and we don't want to be uncertain in what those issues are. So this particular evening, with a good participation, and certainly the conversations that I've heard, are very engaged, very heartfelt.
While students felt comfortable sharing their thoughts on diversity here at night, will these actions see the light of day? SGA President-elect Jack Hesser explains what he plans to do in the fall when he takes office to address diversity issues and how to prevent them from continuing to happen.
I think the number one thing is being open-minded, but it's kind of hard to sit here and just tell someone oh, be more open-minded. I really hope that diversity exposure isn't just a standalone event. When we put on the platform, when we budgeted for it, we have it right now scheduled for August 26th, but we're really working with the Multicultural Center to create more events like that throughout the semester. I don't want this to be something where freshmen come in, they go to this event, it works for a week or two, and then it just kind of dissipates out. That's not what we want. And so I think that making sure that these conversations are always happening in some way, shape, or form around campus is going to be really important, because a one-time event isn't going to fix this by itself.
The administrators and students who helped plan this event explained they are using the conversations and data gathered at the dialogue to track trends. Using this information, they will create a report and action plan in order to decide how to bridge the gap between students and administration when diversity-related issues and concerns arise. In Muncie, Bree Kirkham, NewsLink, Indiana.
Hesser also mentioned SGA is planning a diversity exposure event to take place on August 26th during Welcome Week.
The Indianapolis Police will be out in full force this weekend for the Final Four. The increased presence comes amid protests over the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Today, Department of Public Safety spokesman Al Larson said there will be a designated area immediately south of Lucas Oil Stadium for protesters to gather. Public safety officials are also warning motorists to plan ahead before driving. They say the only planned road closure is South Street in front of Lucas Oil Stadium between Missouri Street and Capitol Avenue. For those who are flying in for the games, the app-based car services Uber and Lyft have reached an agreement with the Indianapolis airport. Uber will be ready to serve the airport this weekend as thousands of travelers arrive for the games. The fares for the ride-sharing companies are generally cheaper than regular cabs, but they do raise rates when demand is high. Cabs will be charging a flat rate for the event.
So, Jason, I heard that it's supposed to snow tomorrow.
I know, possibly 3 to 4 inches. It's kind of tragic.
Well, in Indiana, sometimes it's warm, sometimes it's cold. So, Ellen, tell us, how cold is it going to be?
Well, guys, snow may not be in the forecast for tonight, but funny April Fool's joke. Snow is coming for Saturday, though, potential, but pay attention for later on in the show for that. Currently, it is 60 degrees, still nice and warm and beautiful outside. Clear skies with winds at south at 7 miles per hour. Perfect night to take a walk and enjoy the really nice, cool, and dry air with a dew point of 34. Take advantage of that because we have some moisture on the way. Temperatures across the state, 59 in Indianapolis, 62 in Lafayette, and 58 in Terre Haute, pretty uniform around the state. Headlines to look forward to: April showers are coming, potential severe weather for tomorrow night, and possible snow flurries. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ellen. Ball State University will put on their first Student Athlete Award show. President Paul Ferguson has worked with the Student Athlete Advisory Council to start this new tradition. NewsLink Indiana's Jayla Washington has more.
I'm here at Emmons Auditorium where the Chirpies will be held. The Chirpies is an award show that recognizes and honors student athletes for all of their hard work.
The Student Athletic Advisory Committee says that this event was created to have more of an ESPYs type feel. SAC Executive Board Member Brooklyn Schumacher says that the Chirpies will be welcome and open to all.
The point of having the Chirpies is to invite the entire community out, as well as the entire campus. The Student Athlete Advisory Committee has really focused this year on expanding the student athlete body out into the rest of campus. We want to break down barriers between Greek life and the rest of the entire campus so that we can be more a part of Ball State than we have been before.
Schumacher says that a variety of awards will be given out, such as the top 10 best plays of the year, best coach, best comeback, and others.
We're also going to have best selfie game, which originally was something that people had to be nominated for, but now we're taking entries because we had so many people who thought that their teammates had the best selfie game. So we're making it a little bit more competitive. There won't be an actual winner for that one. We're just going to feature some of the best ones. With our new president and our new athletic director, things are changing all over campus, and this is just one of the most permanent things. We're going to be having this every year, and you don't want to miss the first one.
Schumacher says she's very excited for this event, as she believes it will help to break down some of the barriers between the athlete community and the rest of the student body. In Muncie, Jayla Washington, NewsLink, Indiana.
The doors open at 6 p.m. this Monday. For more information, follow the Chirpies account on Twitter at @the_Chirpies.
It only takes 7 seconds to make a first impression, especially online. One Ball State business fraternity is helping students clean up their act on social media. NewsLink reporter Ashley Lehue has the story.
Students strum guitars, flip through magazines, and enjoy the bright spring afternoon outside the Weidinger Business Building. But the students inside are marketing themselves for a bright future. Delta Sigma Pi offered free professional headshots to students and faculty today for 3 hours. President Erica Blosser explains their goal for the free photo event.
We're a co-ed business fraternity, so what we try to promote is just personal development, both professionally and personally. So this is a great event for us to put on, and people can come out, get a good picture for their LinkedIn that will hopefully, maybe spur them to get some connections for jobs that they're looking at in the spring.
Delta Sigma Pi works to prepare Ball State students for the real world. Vice President Crystal Zick reiterates the importance of professional social media.
Nowadays, just social media is everything. When it comes to potential employers, they want to check up on who they're going to be hiring. They'll go on to LinkedIn account, Twitter, Facebook, all things like that. And having a good professional photo, especially on your LinkedIn account, is really going to set you apart from others. We've seen college students have photos of selfies and things of them at a party, and just that's going to really take away from their professionalism and make potential employers look for a different employee instead.
In Muncie, Ashley Lehue, NewsLink, Indiana.
A Career Builder survey found that 43% of employers look at the candidate's social media content. Delta Sigma Pi plans to implement more professional events in the fall.
Coming up, a foreign official visits Ball State.
And meet the faces behind the Iraqi military. Stay tuned.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
From the Ball State News Center, you're watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Welcome back. Israeli Deputy Consul to the Midwest, Alex Goldman, paid a visit to Ball State today and spoke with students about the structure of the Israeli government as well as the different struggles Israel faces with its neighbors. He then fielded questions that range from the United States' nuclear arms talks with Iran to different stereotypes about the region. Following his presentation, Goldman spoke to NewsLink Indiana about his impression of Ball State.
So what's been your impression of Ball State so far?
Wow, it's a great. My impression. It's a very vivid, interesting campus. Lots of diverse students, colorful. If I'll be a young student, I will be very glad to study here. So surprised, I was impressed by the knowledge of the people because you can see immediately if the questions are coming from knowledge or not. And I was really impressed by the knowledge that the people show in these questions. And for me, it's nice to have lecture, but I always prefer to have a discussion because I think it's more interesting and you can give information about the points that the people disturbed about them.
Goldman visited with the study abroad programs here at Ball State and will travel to Indianapolis as part of a series of college trips he is taking throughout Indiana.
In Iraq, local volunteers have successfully fought ISIS, but their small wins have come at a heavy price. CNN's senior international correspondent Arwa Damon spoke to a family of a promising student who traded his life at university for death in battle.
This is his nephew. About to defend his master's thesis. He went to battle and died defending his country. Mohammed Hamid Ali has also buried two of his sons. One killed by Al-Qaeda in 2007, the other its successor, ISIS. The endless pain of continuing loss and hardship wearing down on the 71-year-old retired teacher. He taught and watched most of those buried here grow up. They defended their country, but we need someone to protect Iraq. We fought for Iraq, he pleads. How can you watch us be slaughtered? 150 dead, the most recent price this town, among the few Sunni areas to stand against ISIS, paid to break the terrorist 7-month siege.
And we never afraid. If we afraid, they're gonna kill all of us.
It's not much of a choice in a nation where devastation and death tend to repeat themselves.
The damage here was done when a vehicle was detonated right there, and that damaged this building, this fighting position, so that's why that building is damaged. This was one of their key points. There were quite a few fighters that were killed here. And you can still see the traces of the defensive positions with the old sandbags, the holes in the wall that they used to shoot back at the ISIS fighters as they continuously tried to advance.
There is pride in their victory, but also a sense of resignation common among many Iraqis. Rebuilding once again, knowing war may not spare them or the ones they love the next time. Arwa Damon, CNN, Dulariya, Iraq.
Don't get too excited about the warm weather. Storms are heading our way.
Your full weather forecast coming up.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
State News Center. You're watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Welcome back. You know, Mackenzie, our April Fool's joke earlier just didn't seem to work on Ellen.
But did it work on any of you? Possibly. Ellen, tell us what's coming up, the truth this time.
All right, maybe not, will not be April Foolish this time, but there is some severe weather coming our way. Currently it's 60 degrees outside, pretty warm and comfortable out there. Wind south at 7 miles per hour and really dry at 34 degrees for our dew point. So enjoy this warm and dry weather because we're not gonna have much of that coming up. The almanac we're gonna see around this time of year, we're normally in the 50s for a high. We were more than 10 degrees warmer than that. So we definitely had a beautiful warm day in the past couple of days. But things are going to change here, but across this state, temperatures are pretty uniform, near 60 degree in Muncie, 59 in Indianapolis, and 62 in Lafayette. Looking at the radar across the country, we see some severe weather. Some storms here in Nebraska and Iowa, and then some in Iowa and Arkansas. These are the storms that are going to be impacting us tomorrow evening. So as I was talking about, tomorrow is a rainy day to look ahead to. Severe weather at night with a high of 63 degrees. And that wind is going to be strong at 21 miles per hour. So an umbrella is not the best idea. Rain boots and a jacket would work pretty well. So prepare for that rain that should be continual all day long. Now here is our severe weather outlook given us by the Storm Prediction Center. And you see Muncie here is in this darker green shade. That's a marginal chance for severe weather. So that means potential for hail and strong wind gusts. So prepare for that around Thursday evening. So looking at precision casts, we'll see when that rain and when those strong storms will be coming in. Around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, we'll see some rain move into our area that will continue throughout the day. And then around 5 p.m. on Thursday, that's when things are going to get severe. So prepare for that lightning, that thunder, and that potential for hail. And that'll continue to stick around with some clouds and some more rain for Friday. And things are going to cool down into Saturday morning, where we can see a potential for some snow flurries, which is kind of crazy because we thought that was going to be over. So look at this temperature as things start to cool down. You see this sharp difference between this warm air in the south and this cold, cold air to our west. And that's going to begin moving in Friday and into Saturday morning, where we have a couple of snow flurry chances for Saturday morning. It's going to be pretty crazy, but should be our last taste of winter for the spring season. So our 7-day forecast, Thursday, we've got a high of 63, and a lot of rain is the story we see here. So rainy again on Friday, but sunny will be on Sunday. But you can see more rain on Monday and Tuesday. But Tuesday is going to be a high of 67, so some wonderful warm weather coming our way.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. I wanted to put my park girl away today, and that's not going to happen.
No. Absolutely. More snow sounds horrible, but at least it sounds like the last leg of the journey.
Yes, just the last bit.
All right, well, the pressure was on for Ball State football players today.
And Ball State baseball suffered defeat today. Stay tuned for your sports news.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
From the Ball State News Center, you're watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jonathan Chapman. Let's take a look at sports from around the area. We begin tonight's segment on the gridiron. Today, several former Ball State football players had a job interview of sorts. Our very own Peter Hood has more.
Ball State football team held its annual pro day on Wednesday. 5 former Cardinals worked out for NFL scouts, looking to make a good impression before next month's draft. Kicker Scott Secor, safety Brian Jones, and linebacker Stephon Martin all worked out, but the 2 most notable Cardinals to take the field were running back Jawan Edwards and cornerback Eric Patterson. Edwards participated in the NFL Combine last month and ran a 4.8 in the 40-yard dash. He was looking to improve on that Wednesday, and he was able to do just that.
I performed well. Just came in with confidence, no sense of failure. All I wanted to do was just better my numbers from the Combine, and I think I did that.
Edwards, the Cardinals' all-time leading rusher, ran a 4.6 today. As for Eric Patterson, a wrist injury prevented him from participating in the combine, so Wednesday was his chance to make a good first impression on NFL scouts. Afterwards, he felt good about his performance.
I mean, I came out and I think I performed very well. And, you know, I proved a lot of people wrong, you know, because a lot of scouts think I'm around 4'6", 4'7", came out and had a good day.
Patterson had been working out in Las Vegas leading up to Pro Day, Edwards in Muncie. Now that Pro Day is over, the waiting game for both begins.
Just keep working, you know, that's just a waiting game, and just keep doing the right things on and off the field. I have another Pro Day coming up with the Panthers, a local Pro Day April 9th. I'll be attending that, but other than that, man, just keeping my nose clean.
I mean, now that I finished the Pro Day, and a lot of teams will get my numbers and stuff, so I probably have a couple workouts with the teams, a couple visits.
In Muncie, Peter Hood, NewsLink, Indiana.
Now, those scouts you saw at the end of that video were representing 3 different NFL teams. The Green Bay Packers, the Atlanta Falcons, and Indianapolis Colts were all in attendance to watch Edwards, Patterson, and their former teammates work out. NFLDraftScout.com has Edwards pegged as the 30th best running back in this year's draft. Eric Patterson is ranked 85th at his position. The NFL draft is set to begin on April 30th. Now, this afternoon, the Cardinals baseball team was on the road to visit the Indiana State Sycamores. Today marked the 140th meeting between the Cardinals and Sycamores. Ball State came into play today with a 19-8 record. Indiana State was 8-5 coming into today's game. The Cardinals struck first when Jarrett Rindfleisch hit a solo shot for his second home run in as many days. The Sycamores struck back quickly, scoring 4 runs in the second to take the 4-1 lead. Ball State returned with 2 runs of their own before the Sycamores put up 4 more in the bottom of the third to increase their lead to 8-3. The bats quieted down for both teams until the Cardinals allowed 3 runs in the 7th to make it an 11-4 game. The Cardinals scored 1 in the 8th, but did not have enough offense this afternoon as they go down by a score of 14-5. The Cardinals are now 19-9 on the season and look to their next game against Akron in Muncie. And to the softball field, where Ball State softball was also on the road to take on an in-state rival. The Cardinals were in West Lafayette to take on the Boilermakers. The Cardinals jumped out to an early lead, scoring 4 runs in the first inning off a double by Shelby Justice. Purdue answered right back with 2 runs of their own in the first to make it a 4-2 game. Ball State scored their 5th run on a solo home run by Jessica Kraft. Purdue answered with a 3-run third inning to make it a 5-4 game. The Cardinals weren't fazed as they would keep up the offensive pressure, but in the end, it would not be enough in this high-scoring game. The Cardinals could not stop Purdue late in this back-and-forth game, and Ball State wound up falling to Purdue by a final score of 10-9. The Cardinals are now 14-17 on the road. All right.
Well, hopefully softball and baseball can pick it back up this week.
Yeah, baseball's been pretty good this year. Softball is a little bit under 500, but they should be getting back on pace pretty soon.
Well, thanks for that, John. Chris Pratt might be coming from the galaxy to the jungle in a reboot of the classic series.
And a big announcement is coming your way. You won't want to miss your entertainment news. Stay tuned.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
From the Ball State News Center, you're watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Kayla Harpold with your entertainment news. Huge news coming out of Emmons Auditorium. It has just been confirmed that next semester Beyonce and Jay-Z will be performing at Emmons Auditorium. The exact date has yet to be confirmed, but as soon as everything is set, we will get that information to you. The superstar couple has just come off their latest world tour and HBO special. Just kidding, April Fools. But really, rapper 2 Chainz actually will be performing in Muncie at Delaware County Fairgrounds on April 23rd as an end-of-the-year hip-hop special put on by I-465 Media Group. I Love Mackinnon and Mark Battles will also be performing at the concert. The doors will open at 6 with the concert following shortly after. You can purchase tickets online at springfest2k15.com or at Sensations Tanning in the Village on a cash-only basis. And Disney is focusing its attention to remaking the Indiana Jones franchise and is trying to get Guardians of the Galaxy star Chris Pratt to portray Indiana Jones in the remake. Steven Spielberg said that he would like to direct the film after directing the original films with Harrison Ford. When asked about the position, Pratt said it would be an awesome opportunity to play Indy. However, nothing has been set in stone yet. And that's all for your entertainment news. I'm Kayla Harpold.
And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.